Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Today is January 8th, 2024, and this is episode 2 of MindMosaic. So get out your pencils and textbooks because today we are going to talk about the school system. And don't worry, there's no test at the end. Education is a cornerstone of society. It is a foundational pillar upon which the progress, enlightenment, and prosperity of a community all rest. It is the conduit through which knowledge is transmitted from one generation to the next. The intellectual and cultural growth of a society depend entirely on its function. The American school system, as we know it today, was molded in the 19th century, a time marked by the focus of the school system was not to nurture the minds of independent thinkers and innovators. Rather, it was to produce obedient workers who could seamlessly integrate into the emerging industrial landscape. The education system became a tool for the mass production of individuals with hyper-specific skills and behaviors, reinforcing the hierarchical structure of society. This structure still exists in today's classrooms. You know, the fall in line, follow instructions, memorize and repeat expired beliefs and outdated systems, raise your hand to get permission if you want to ask a question, standardized cookie-cutter classrooms. However, the world has transformed considerably since the industrial age. For one, the rise of automation poses a challenge to traditional career paths. Many jobs that once required human expertise are now being automated by machines, leaving a considerable amount of workers facing the risk of obsolescence. The conveyor belt of education, designed to produce workers for a specific set of tasks, is not equipped to prepare individuals for a job market that is undergoing rapid and unpredictable changes. Meanwhile, the advent of online creators is reshaping the conventional career trajectory. The internet has allowed individuals to self-educate, create businesses, and pursue innovative ideas without the need for traditional brick-and-mortar establishments. This digital renaissance challenges the conventional education model, which often emphasizes conformity over creativity. And now, this new kind of entrepreneurial spirit, fueled by online platforms and digital connectivity, is drastically changing the landscape of career possibilities. And thus, creativity begins to outperform conformity. Imagine a future where algorithms manage routine tasks, allowing industries to evolve at a pace that outstrips the current educational cycle. The school system, geared towards funneling students into specific jobs, will prove inadequate in a world in which these jobs don't exist, meaning that most of what you learned in school is useless, as the most valuable skills are no longer determined by your superiors. Instead, they are the skills that increase the rate of innovation. Skills like critical thinking, adaptability, creativity. The challenge, therefore, is not merely to reform the existing system, but to reimagine education in a way that nurtures the skills necessary for the dynamic challenges of the future. But this change will not come from top-down policy reform. It can't. There isn't enough time for it to adapt to the changes that have already been set in motion and are rapidly gaining momentum. Education will change as a consequence of normal, everyday people realizing that old paradigms no longer apply, and by taking back control of their own minds. Consider the implications of this. The future belongs to those who can transcend the constraints of a rigid system and rediscover the childlike traits that were suppressed by said rigid system. Picture a scenario where we as individuals see learning as a lifelong pursuit, unbound by the limitations of predefined career paths. We'd be free to pursue what is meaningful to us rather than what is assigned to us. Granted, this shift requires a departure from the industrial era mindset that sought to mold us into cogs in a machine, but I feel like as human beings, we are naturally inclined to want to be more than that. The essence of societal progress transcends things like rows of desks and standardized tests. The great thinkers and innovators of history were often those who challenged the status quo, daring to follow their curiosity into uncharted territories. Therefore, shouldn't education be a dynamic and ever-evolving journey, not confined within the walls of an institution? Consider the image of a child, wide-eyed and eager to explore the world. This natural curiosity is the driving force behind innovation and progress. The future does not belong to those pressured into conformity. It belongs to those who can rediscover this childlike wonder, unencumbered by the limitations imposed by an outdated and dysfunctional system. In rediscovering our innate curiosity, we unlock the potential to become the architects of a new era, one where the boundaries of possibility are not defined by the constraints of the past, but by our own boundless imagination of the future. People say school is important, and those people are right, which is why we must at least acknowledge the fact that the American school system will become obsolete in the face of our rapidly evolving meta-socio-economic situation. It has simply not adapted to the massive shifts that are coming, and people are going to get left behind if they don't start educating themselves now. So that is where our task lies, in realizing that even though we might be graduated, we remain students nonetheless, and we must learn to cultivate skills that transcend the limitations of specific jobs and industries. Skills like creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, problem solving, adaptability. The very skills that we must nurture in the minds of the next generation so that they can learn from our mistakes and build a future that is beautiful, because that's what education is. It's a gift to the future. So from now on, envision a world in which education is not a means to an end, but a lifelong pursuit, and those who do will become its architects, building a future not confined by conventional wisdom, but transcendent of what we ever thought was possible. The journey has already begun. You just need to keep going. Keep learning, learn about everything. Next episode is going to be all about that, so stay tuned. And until then, look at the stars, examine the bugs, and rediscover your gift of wide-eyed curiosity, because it's your birthright. And that's all for this one. Keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving. And I'll see you next time. Farewell, humans. Farewell.